Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd, Bish's RV, down here to see what's in store for 24 with Jayco RV's fifth wheel lineup. We're going to be taking a fast flyby look at a lot of different things real fast today. We've already kind of done this once previously with their travel trailer lineup, so if you're wanting to see maybe what's in store there, I'll try to remember to leave you a link in the video description, or you can always just search our channel to see what's happening in that regard. But we're going to be taking like a fast, I don't know, minute and a half look at a lot of different things real quick. They've kind of reset some things in their series that at a glance, just looking at it from the outside in, is not very clear, but I think once I have a chance to explain it, it's going to make a lot more sense to you. What I'm seeing here is they're really kind of making a big broad spectrum of things where they're making some more things that are a little more price point sensitive, but they're also making some things that are very upscale, very posh, basically, like dishwashers standard issue and some stuff that like they haven't done before. I'm gonna chapter mark this video so you can jump around and take a quick look at those units that maybe interest you, and I need to hear from you. I need to know which of these things you'd like me to zero in on for full footage later through the year, because unfortunately with just one of me, I can't get everything from every brand, so I need you folks to tell me what you'd like to see, and I'll do my best to fill it in later on. And if you like how we get away and show you all the fun things here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. Now keep in mind as we go through this video here, anytime I discuss Eagle HT and Full Eagle, all of those updates also equally apply to the Eagle family travel trailers. I know this is a very fifth wheel focused video, but that will be the case. Now the Eagle HT series to begin with here has split, where half of the existing HT lineup has graduated into a full Eagle, and then half of it has been revised into this new Eagle HT series. And a lot of the idea behind this is to give you all the big Eagle doing Eagle things features that really matter, but peeling out a lot of the fluff stuff. Like for instance, they no longer have things like that Bluetooth command system on these Eagle HTs, but I don't know that a lot of people necessarily really cared about that. Instead, what you still have here are things like what I call the Franken table arrangement, where you've got the two chairs and the floating bench, but Eagle doing Eagle things. It still includes two additional folding chairs to bring out in case you don't want your guests to feel like they're sitting on a booth at Denny's, you know. Still porcelain foot flush stool. They've actually enhanced the cabinetry to a double style shaker cabinet. And they no longer have a king bed option, which at knee jerk, I think a lot of people aren't going to like. But if you notice, there's gaps on both sides of that mattress. In these models that do not have a closet slide like this one, you can still put in what's called an Olympic queen bed, which is 6 inches wider. The HT series also no longer has washer-dryer hookups, but you will find that starting to pop back in the full Eagle series. You still have that big closet there for storage, obviously. Now this one right here, kind of the revision of the 30.5 CKTS, where you have that giant opposing slide living room. But again, no slide in the upper deck, but you still have the closet built right into the wall. Now remember I said they peeled out things that maybe don't matter as much. Things that really do matter, like the Goodyear Endurance radials, the MORryde shock dampening suspension, the automatic leveling, the 0 to 100 degree weather package. All of that still applies to these. Now that little griddle station right there, if you're looking at one of these that has a camp kitchen, that will be standard. On a model like this that's a couples model with no camp kitchen, that will be an available option, so kind of keep that in mind. Another thing that's very cool that they maintained here is the whisper ducted air conditioning that it seems like a lot of brands still don't do, and even here at their most basic fifth wheel series. You know, this is the most stripped down Jayco's willing to build a fifth wheel, which I think really says a lot about where their focus is. This is still pretty slick. The flooring, you may notice, is still completely carpetless. Like, they didn't try to cut corners, they just didn't add things that didn't need to be there. And you might have noticed a more consistent decor in these. Instead of two different decors that each had a lot of different wood accent tones, they've gone to one decor that is overall lighter, brighter, and cleaner looking, because the areas like this in the previous farmhouse decor, some of the cabinetry would almost look dirty when it was brand new because of the accents. They've gotten rid of that and just gone with a clean, straight line all the way around it. Now this one is kind of funny because a lot of people said, Josh, what happened to the Eagle 26 RU? Well, it still exists. It's just now the 25 RU. They only made like one actual run last year of the 26 RU before these revisions hit. So this is what we're looking at right here. A lot of manufacturers make this model, but I think Eagle did some really clutch details. Like, you see how the countertop is basically squared off all the way under the entertainment center and it's maximum storage. That right there is something I've heard a lot of people want from some other brands. And the way that you have the power outlets on both sides of the dinette, that's a massive seating area. Not to have a place to have like USB plugs or anything always felt like a miss to me, and I'm glad they didn't do that here. Now their sofa seating in this is either cuddle compliant or it is population controlling with a drop down middle armrest, and all three sections can recline. Not to mention it's a 3-seater, so if you want to just lay across the thing and just, you know, have a little midday snooze watching TV, perfect place to do that. So it's a good solo or couples model that actually has some really surprisingly decent accommodations for guests. Now we're still in the HT series, so again, no washer dryer setup, but you can still add a second air conditioner if you want. And once again, there is no need to, you know, have to like scoot around the foot of the bed because they're built by default with 80-inch beds. You don't have to worry about shoving a longer mattress in there. Now here in the HT series, you'll find solar prep. When you move up to the full Eagle, which is what we're looking at now, you have 200 watts of standard solar. Now this is a little confusing because this is where the old HT series split. Models like this used to be an HT, and this 29.5 is now a full Eagle. And one of the things that it kind of picked up when it graduated here is that was a beautiful windshield inset into that nose cap. The full Eagle series, anytime you have a north-south bed, anytime you don't have a nose closet, is going to have that amazing looking windshield with those automotive kind of lightsaber lights going on in them right there. And this is where we start to just enhance, and move up a little bit. Now, you might notice things like now we're picking up fireplaces. The big 12, basically they're going to put the biggest 12-volt compressor fridge they can in everything, and that is now the standard. There is no longer any sort of gas electric refrigerator options, swaptions in these through the entire Eagle series. And that really is going to become a trend that persists not just at Jayco. A lot of manufacturers are going that way, mostly because suppliers, people who build the gas electric 2-way fridges, they're building fewer of them. The cost of them has gotten very extreme, and most of them now have to be imported. So getting service work, replacements has become even slower in an industry that doesn't need any more hiccups and slowdowns when it comes to service stuff. When you're in this is now a full Eagle, not the HT series here. Again, the enhancements are going to keep on rolling out, although this one right here with a closet slide actually really cannot accept one of those wider Olympic Queen mattresses, because when the closet slide closes, it will pinch too tight. There won't be room. But did you notice how they added extra dresser drawer storage kind of at the bottom beside both sides of the bed? So you're still getting a lot of that extra long-term storage capacity there. Now that was the 29.5. This is the 28.5, again, now moved up to a full Eagle with windshield. Here's another awesome thing on the full Eagle series. All full Eagles, North Points, Pinnacles, and Seismics all now have standard anti-lock braking and basically anti-sway systems. Dexter and Bosch have partnered together, and this system works extremely well. I've gone on a test drive in a similar system from Lippert, and really like the extra control and enhancement that you get off of this. So if you're going down the road, I don't care, you know, if it's a wet or icy situation, if you hit the brakes and the trailer starts to slide, this system will help keep the trailer behind you. Even if you're going down dry roads and some idiot is texting on their phone and tries to cut you off to make an exit that they forgot was coming, and you have to stab the brakes, it will keep the trailer from going past you. And basically all you do is steer the vehicle like you normally would, and the trailer is going to follow you, and it works, and it works so well. And again, I really like the decor enhancements here. And when you're in full Eagle, not only do you have 200 watts of standard solar with their Overlander 1 package, you can also option in Overlander 2, which grants you up to 400 watts of solar and an inverter. You can even go up to Overlander 4, which is 4 of those solar panels and an even more enhanced inverter. So now you have the ability to outfit that model with more standard factory solar than it has ever had before. Now, this is, I think, what people are a little more familiar with when you say Eagle last year. Remember, some of those smaller HTs are now full Eagles, even though the model number didn't change. They didn't want to throw people off too awful hard like that. This 335 will kind of serve as our barometer point for what you saw previously as the big Eagles. And again, you've already kind of seen the consistency through the family. The enhancements to the cabinetry, the enhancements to solar, the anti-lock braking system that you now have standard on these, on a big rig like this can make a big towing and safety difference when you are going down the road. They've done so many things here to give you that kind of comfort. Now, that's another difference between HT and Full Eagle. Full Eagle still has the J-Smart turn signal safety lighting. HT does not. But one of the reasons being those are smaller, so there's less of a middle of the RV, so needing turn signals amidships basically was really kind of found to be a little bit superfluous when you can already kind of see those otherwise blind spots far better here. The sound system on Full Eagle has been enhanced with a JBL system. Basically, what was found on North Point and Pinnacle last year in terms of entertainment, you're finding here. Another interesting little unseen enhancement is the HDMI wiring. They've upgraded to basically HDMI 2.0. A lot of people don't even know that's a thing, but it's keeping up with new technology. So a lot of newer smart players and things like that, if you want to plug in like Blu-ray players, all that kind of stuff will naturally integrate with this far more effectively. Did you notice that oven as well? Any of the big Eagles, I call them big birds as opposed to little birds, any of the big bird Eagles can now, you'll find wherever they can, those bigger, larger ovens that looks far more in line with like what you saw from North Point last year. And when I first saw this, I was a little bit afraid that like Eagle was getting into North Point's knickers, and then the further that I got into North Point, the less I was worried about that whatsoever. Now, in this model that we're in, that table in the kitchen, it actually sits up at countertop height, so that can become extra counter space, which I think is cool. The front closet on this is now designed for a side-by-side washer dryer. So like right there, you see one of the hookups in the closet. You can put like your washer unit there, and the dryer goes on the other side. Eagles are still one of the only things in this class that have standard dual whisper ducted air conditioning to keep the noise down so the air conditioner doesn't roar like Katy Perry, and it's a 30,000 BTU system standard. North Point, the big brother, one of the major changes here is kind of like me, as I've been eating too much at McDonald's. I am now a wide body, as is the North Point. These were previously 8 foot wide, and you had to go up to Pinnacle to get a wide body unit. North Point has stepped it up this year. They are now 102-inch standard width, standard wide body, so 6 inches wider than industry standard. And they now have double the standard propane capacity that they had before. So previously, if you got their Gen Prep package, you upgraded from dual 30-pound propane bottles to triple 40-pound propane bottles, all of which were plumbed together. That plumbing and the extra propane is now standard. So it's like if you check the little generator prep option on these, it doesn't cost nearly as much as it used to because a lot of that is already pre-built into it. And with this now being wide body, you notice how that's now a big, like 3 adult cedar sofa with side stands on either side of the sofa instead of a 2 with side stands or a 3 with no side stands. They're now able to offer more than ever before. Now this 310, they've also enhanced in several other kind of subtle ways. Basically, they took the kitchen from the Pinnacle 32 RLTS and put it in here, but last year, the 310 North Point was 36 feet 4 inches. This year is 36 feet 4 inches, but being 6 inches wider all the way through has added so much more space. Now, just like we saw in Eagles, North Point has condensed into one decor, but overall, I think it looks more modern and sharp and executive. And look where the USB plugs and the power buttons are in those recliners. North Point, more than almost any other brand I've seen this year, has just taken your feedback and said, we are going to do it. Did you notice how I was rubbing fabric furniture right there? All the feedback were people saying this cheap pleather, it cracks after a year. If I'm full timing in this RV, I've worn it out already. They've gotten rid of that. They've gone to something that the idea behind this is to last, and they've completely revised their front closet here. It's given up no functional space and has actually enhanced and added storage. And by the way, all the TVs you're seeing and all of these that are factory standard, they're all smart TVs. So that's your stackable washer dryer hookup over there, but in the bottom left section of that nose was extra dresser space and a clothes hamper, or you could just use it for extra clothes. Now, just to kind of show you, yes, they're still making their family models in the North Point series. They, of course, are making the 377 mid-bunk. That's one of the most popular things Jayco's ever made. But this one right here, the 390, this is an awesome alternative to the common family camper right here. Like if you have a literal need for an actual mother-in-law suite, not even joking, talking about shoving the mother-in-law into like a baggage compartment. If you need an actual space for like your dad lives with you now, or you have an adult child with special needs, or you just don't want a bunkhouse because bunks don't fit your very tall children, having that extra large loft, a true queen bed in the back with its own full bathroom, toilet, shower, whole shebang, and then a king bed in the front with its full bathroom. This is an awesome cure for the common family bunkhouse right here. And all of the bedrooms get a lot of storage. I kind of call these things like a rolling European efficiency apartment, where you have two bedrooms, like multiple separate bedrooms and everything, but you have kind of a shared living and kitchen space. That's what this one is right here. And from the main entry door or the rear door right here, you can kind of come and go as you please. 200 watts of solar is also now standard on these. And just like I said earlier, anti-lock braking package also standard. And on a big rig like this, I think that can be a major thing, because if an RV like this, if you're in a panic braking situation, you have to stab the brakes and this big rig starts passing you, it's gonna be a bad day at the office. Well, now you don't have to worry about that here. They've upgraded and gone with a consistent appliance package. You're going to find GE, like residential kitchen appliances all the way through this thing. So like the refrigerator that you could get in this is the same refrigerator that you could get at home, but they are making sure it actually is one that is like shock and vibration rated. They include a service panel on the back of the fridge, so it doesn't necessarily have to be dismounted for service. And they are making sure that these refrigerators could be dismounted and basically taken out the front door if need be. Now it's still dual whisper air in here, 30,000 BTUs of cooling power standard, but North Points are all set up for a third air conditioner if you are so inclined. And that big vaulted ceiling in the upper deck of the North Points, I'm a little over 6 foot, probably 6'2" from floor to peach fuzz with my shoes on right there. I'm able to walk around and navigate these very comfortably, no problem. Frankly, this new closet blew me away. And look at how deep those drawers are. That's how much room there is to also walk around the bed. They made sure that you can actually get around this thing even with a king bed, because a lot of manufacturers, if you get a king, you're doing the butt scoop boogie to get around that sucker, and you don't have to deal with that here, not near to the severity of other things. Now the drinking water system, if you weren't familiar with it, there's a separate tap just for that jug of water right there, but that does also feed the water dispenser and like the ice maker in that refrigerator that you were looking at. Now moving from North Point up to Pinnacle, you can finally see Pinnacle got rid of what I call old man tan color package, and I don't mean that in a derogatory fashion, but it felt like it had run its course to me, respectfully. And you're actually seeing, did you notice how there was like the black decals between the extra large windows in North Point's last year, how that kind of trickled down into Eagle? You're seeing how what North Point is doing is actually really shaping and influencing the rest of the fifth wheel family, including up here in Pinnacle. And it looks so much sharper, fresher. And a lot of people get kind of confused on North Point versus Pinnacle. They're both very, very upscale. But here's the best way I can describe it. An Eagle is somebody who went to college and got a bachelor's degree. A North Point is somebody who went to college and got a master's degree. And Pinnacles are for the people that went back and got a doctorate. Now, all of your high profile and luxury things, so North Point, Pinnacle, Seismic, they're all running not even on Goodyear's, but Uniroyal H-rated tires instead of E-rated tires. And to my knowledge, I am not aware of a single just flat tire failure in a towable RV application due to the presence of H-rated tires. Now, If you catch debris or something, that's different, but I'm not aware of those tires flat failing. And this is kind of some weird evil twin to the North Point 382 FLRB, the Flurb. It's got kind of that same front living where it actually has a power televator with TVs on both sides of it to watch from kitchen or living, or you could actually watch separate things in the kitchen versus the living room, which might be very, very cool. Where you've got a rear direction facing theater seat wrapped around windows all the way in the front of this. And what I like about it is when that televator's up, it creates an awesome separation of kitchen versus living space. But did you see the interesting gliding dining that this one had down in the kitchen area right there? Instead, a lot of people are just not using the traditional like table setup that we have kind of become, used to in the RV industry for years. So what they did is they created something that could be an extended island. It could be a bar. It could slide for dining. It could be a desk. It could be all kinds of different things. And with the sink right there, I know it's a little unconventional, but when you stand in it, it works. And if you're sitting there, if you're doing prep work, if you're getting things around, from the sink, you're looking out the windows, you're talking to people, you're able to enjoy the entertainment. But in the back here, you have all this nice privacy where you've got, your hanging closet space directly across from that king bed in the slide. And the rear bathroom in this is bigger than I have in my house. I love the rear bathroom in the North Point and the Pinnacle front livings right here. Now they've gone with these extra large vessel sinks, and so I know that some people don't love the vessel sink, but the idea here is it's actually large enough to really get your hands in. You see how they've got that 300-pound folding teak seat in the shower? Jayco's really where I kind of saw that first. A lot of other manufacturers have jumped on it, although I don't blame them. Every manufacturer borrows from one another. That's either closet space or it's a stackable washer dryer area. And then, back in the living room, just all kinds of storage capacity there. Now, again, hot, cold, weather rated, all the things you expect out of a big fifth wheel, they're doing those and more. And then seismic over here. The best way I can describe this one, seismic is almost like a North Point with a 3 seasons room multifunction garage. But look at that NPS 6000 inverter generator. It is more fuel efficient. It is quieter versus the Onan. I could make a whole separate video on just the NPS inverter generators, but those things are absolutely fantastic, and I'm really glad to see them come into these things standard here. Now here in the seismic series, washer dryer hookup standard. I really like how they did the half bath in the back of this one, the way that it doesn't cut into the living room, because the living area in this RV is one of the best I've seen in a fifth wheel toy hauler in so long. Now you can option and swaption around that seating arrangement a little bit, but that mega 5-seater, 5-point wall hugging theater recliner, then you have this giant sofa lounge over here. So many fifth wheel toy haulers have this problem where you steal from all your living space to have nothing but this big garage, and then you can barely enjoy the living room. This one is built with an awesome living room first, and then it just happens to have a big multi-function room off the back, and it still maintains a loft up there. And again, I'm gonna try to go through and get you as many deep dive full videos as I can on these. I can't cover every detail in these fast flyby videos, but this thing right here, I really feel it's one of the best living setups I've seen in a long time. Now again, they're focusing more on 12-volt refrigerators, but more factory solar and bigger solar options being available on these. And a lot of toy haulers still have that dual bedroom entry door. I'm kind of glad to not see that here to really maintain maximum privacy. That is a king bed, which does mean it does get a little tight on the camp side of the RV. And by the way, all these crazy blue lights you're seeing in the RV, those can be turned off. And all the crazy blue lights you're seeing outside of the RV are from the display. This is a white and black skin, just like you saw on North Point and Pinnacle. And this moves up from seismic to seismic luxury. And this 4113, I think, is one of the baddest cats I've ever seen in the world of fifth wheel toy haulers. Dual patio, monster side patio space. But you still have, a garage entry door, a living room entry door. This is Party House USA, where you can come and go and freely flow through the whole thing pretty much any way that you possibly please. But what's great about this one, the garage is excellent. The 3-season wall is fantastic. All those big fifth wheel things you expect, you have those here. The living room is great. It's the kitchen that drops my jaw on this thing, that elevated step-up kitchen. When you walk in the main door and you're sitting at ground level, the kitchen bar is like right at elbow level. And there's something so cool, like you will catch people standing there talking and just leaning their elbow on it and setting their drink down. And it just has the perfect sort of flow and execution. I think it's one of my favorite fifth wheel toy haulers I've seen in a long time, and they've been running this for a while. But notice even here, you're getting those big pinnacle features, like you're getting the enhanced oven and stuff. Now I turned the blue lights off here so you can get a better look at the decor. One thing I didn't mention back in Pinnacle is still maintaining a second decor, although overall they're going to look very similar. You're going to have to really kind of look with a map and glasses to see what's truly different about them. But Pinnacle is still offering an AB option. When you're up at that budget range, they still wanted to offer you a little more choice and a little more discretion. But floating out onto this patio, if you're parked in the middle of nowhere, that would be one of the coolest walkouts. When you're in this display and looking at RVs, it's neat, but in the middle of nowhere, it would just be amazing. That same big shower here with the fold-down 300-pound rated seat right there available for you. You know what else is cool about that seat? You can also use it like if you want to set your soaps and body washes there if you don't need to sit to bathe. It's still very handy. It's a very underrated feature, I think. And up here in Seismic Luxury, more power outlets and more USB plugs in more places. I love the way they have framed in that front windshield. It just gives it such a unique look, and it really draws your eyes in. So thanks again for tuning in, taking a quick look at all these fun things. There's always somebody who gets caught in the background and they look up and see a camera's rolling. Oh no! But when you're in a live display like this, that's always going to happen. But anyway, more to the point, let me know what you think about all the new stuff right here. And again, what kind of stuff are you interested in? What do you want to see more of? And if you appreciate how we get you down here and get you quick looks at all this stuff before, it takes me a long time to put my big, long videos together. If you like us getting this stuff all wrapped up for you in big bundles like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow along with our videos. Catch the next one. Previously did the 2024 Jayco trailers. Today the fifth wheels. Next, I'm going to be taking a walk through their motorized side to see if we can get your motor running and head out on the highway. So if you're looking for adventure or whatever comes your way, hit that subscribe button. And we'll catch you next time. I'm tired. You have no idea, just by looking at these lights, how long I've been doing this. It's been going on a while and I'm getting tired. So anyway, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.